Hi, I am Dr. Rajkumar from School of Physics and Material Science, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala. So in this video, we'll talk about flowcharts. Basically, the question arises, what is flowchart? A flowchart is simply a graphical representation of steps using a certain symbols. It shows steps in sequential order and is widely used in presenting the flow of algorithms, workflow processes. Typically, a flowchart shows the steps as boxes of various kinds and their order by connecting them with arrows. They play an extremely important role in displaying information and assisting reasoning. They also help us visualize complex processes or make explicit the structure of problem and tasks. Now there are various kind of symbols are available for making a flowchart. Different flowchart shapes have different conventional meanings, and the meaning of some of the more common shapes which are used in flowcharts are as shown in this table. The first column represents a symbol, second name of the symbol, and third one is function. First one is rectangular box used for defining the processes, indicates any type of internal operation inside the processor or memory. Second one is tilted box used for input and output. Third one is a diamond shaped box, decision making box used to ask a question that can be answered in a binary format, that is, its answer is either true or false, yes or no. Fourth one is a circular symbol used as connector, allows the flowchart to be drawn without intersecting lines or without a reverse flow. Fifth one is a predefined process symbol used to invoke a subroutine or an interrupt program. Next one is used for terminal, that is starting and ending of a program, process or interrupt program. And the last one is arrows, also known as flow lines, shows direction of flow in the flowchart. One more symbol left in the table is loop symbol. This is a hexagonal shape symbol used for looping in Fortran. An example of do loop is given in this hexagonal shape. So for defining a loop inside the flowchart, you can use this kind of symbol. Now there are certain rules of defining or making a flowchart is first one, each flowchart must have one and only one start object. It should start from one point only. The second is the flow of control must always enter an object from the top and must always leave an object from the bottom, except for decision objects which allow the flow of control to leave from sides as well. Fourth one is the flow of control must not split. And the last one is flow lines must not cross each other. If they have to cross, then the bottom line is a horizontal line, and the second one which is needed to cross this line, you have to make a curve over the line, over the horizontal line. The symbols represent flow line crossing in a flowchart. All right. Let us consider a simple example of making a flowchart for addition of two numbers a and b. So left hand side shows the flowchart and right hand side the execution of this flowchart. So we have started with the start symbol. Next one is uh, for addition of two numbers a and b, we need first two numbers a and b. So in the first input box, I have mentioned read a. It is a tilted box, tilted symbol. Again, we need second number, so read b. Then next step is calculate sum of number a and b. So in the processing box, we have mentioned calculate sum, which is equal to a plus b. And next step is print that sum onto the screen or onto the file, wherever, and followed by end of the process. Please note that all these symbols are connected by a downward arrow, represents the flow of program from top to bottom. Now consider two numbers, example is given 529 and 256 start. Then we have read two numbers a and b, 529 and 256. The flow is represented on right hand side and sum is equal to 529 plus 256, sum of two numbers a plus b, and their sum comes out to be 785, which is printed on the screen, followed by end statement. Next, consider a flowchart which involves decision making. So if we have a decision making box which has two outputs, depending upon whether the output is true or false, whether the condition is true or false, flowchart for that one is uh, find profit or loss when income and costs are given. So to begin with, on left hand side, I have made the flowchart. Begin with the start, then we need income as well as cost involved. So I have made two tilted box for reading income and cost. You can also make a single tilted box and you can write both the read statement in the same box. So there is no issue. Then what is next step? We have to check whether the income is greater than or equal to cost or not. So this is the condition. So it is either true or false. If income is greater than or equal to cost, if it is yes, if it is true, then we have to calculate profit as income minus cost involved. And since this is a processing, it is written in a rectangular box, and we have written the condition in a diamond shaped box, but diamond shaped symbol. So on the yes side, if we have calculated the profit, then we need to print this profit as well. So in tilted box, print profit statement is there, which is followed by end statement. Now if the income greater than equal to cost, we have gone through yes or true statement. What if this condition is not satisfied? It means it is false. So we have to label downward arrow with a no, and when it is true, it was true, we have labeled it with yes. So downward with no printed on it, we have to calculate the loss now. So loss is equal to cost minus income. Then we have to print the loss as well. So in tilted box, we have written print loss and end the process. Now consider an example. On right hand side, income is 100,000 and cost involved is 800. So in the beginning, start, then we have given income is equal to 1000, cost is equal to 800. These two numbers are read from the screen or anywhere from the file. Now if 1000 is greater than 800, yes, we have followed yes path, in which we have calculated profit is equal to 1000 minus 800, which is profit is equal to 200. So we have printed profit is equal to 200. No part, the false part is not executed at all for this condition, for these variables, income 1000 and cost 800. And in the end, we have written end the process. We can also use nested decision inside a flowchart. So this is a simple flowchart of you have to look outside whether it is raining or not, and if it is not raining, you don't need umbrella, finish. If it is raining, look for the umbrella, and then you have to further check whether you have find the umbrella or not. If you find, well and good, finish. If you didn't find, you again recheck that whether still it is raining. If it is raining, you have to again find the umbrella, you have to look for the umbrella, and if it is not raining, leave the umbrella and finish. So this is a simple representation of nested decisions inside a flowchart. Let us consider simplest example of quadratic equation, solution of quadratic equation. On right hand side, flowchart is made, and on left hand side I have written this flowchart in terms of steps, which is known as algorithm in computer language. So algorithm begins with start, then we need coefficients of quadratic equation a, b, c, then discriminator is equal to square root of b square minus 4ac. We have calculated this. Root 1 is minus b plus d divided by 2a, and root 2 is minus b minus d divided by 2a. And we have to print those two roots, print with the statement print root 1 and root 2, and end the statement, end the process. So the same steps are now written in flowchart. Start with an elliptical symbol, then tilted box for reading a, b, c, then for processing d is equal to square root b square minus 4ac because it is calculating a number, then again processing for calculating root 1 and root 2. Remember that you can also club these three processing box into a single one, and in that single box you can write these three statements, and finally we have to print using a tilted box the root 1 and root 2 and end the process. So this is all about the flowchart, its symbols and its various uses. So thank you for watching the video.